Travis Wayne Goodsoul. So it was my intention to do this video as a full coverage of some woman named Mackenzie, but I can't find her video anymore. See, when I use YouTube, it's for what I want to look for and watch. I don't click onto YouTube, sign in, and let YouTube tell me what to watch and what to view, despite their recommendations. I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for, and if YouTube doesn't have it, I don't go searching around for other stuff. It's like back when Blockbuster Video was in operation, and they had new releases every week, and the majority of the customers would come in for new releases, and of course they didn't have enough DVDs to rent. They purposely tanked their business because they did the promotion of, you can't find a new release? Try this other video from our family favorites that is just like it. Yeah, that was an instant bomb failure, because people go to Blockbuster for the new stuff. That's why streaming services are tanking right now. They've got all the old stuff, but that's not why people go to streaming services. It's for the new releases. Hollywood never, ever, ever, ever understands this. Only guys like me want the old stuff, but I want a hard copy digital file for my collection so that I can refer to it whenever I want. Right now I'm currently watching 24. And so anyway, you know, the Mackenzie woman caught my attention. So yes, YouTube can, if they use AI to figure out what I want, can recommend the right videos for me, but they don't. But yeah, you know, if you just recommend enough videos, eventually there will be one that I will be curious about. I was curious only because she's a redhead. If it was any other guy, no. Not interested. Move along. YouTube sucks. And so I'm sure she's single. I'm sure she's available. I'm sure she likes older men who criticize the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Right? I'm sure she will conform to my fantasy. I'm old enough to know that isn't gonna happen. I'm all by myself for the rest of my life now. And so, what was curious is that, one, she's condemning Tim Ballard for being a sex pervert and showing porn on her video, as she has the technology to put pictures up on the screen. All these years, I can't find an app, I can't find a program, I can't figure out how to get a program to do it, if it can do it. And everybody else seems to know exactly what program to use, and they're doing it. But she's showing porn of guys, so I know she likes guys. As a beam and a mote is involved here. Sorry, sweetie, you've been busted. It has to do with making false accusations. And so because I can't find her video now, I wasn't able to review it to see if she was Mormon, whatever else. So sad. So instead, this gets to be a news review from this morning. As things are working out better for me, I'm able to expand my news sources again. And so it's beyond just church news on local news press. Not church news, which I still do in the evenings. They end work at 5, and so if there's anything going to be put on the news, it's before 5. And so sometimes, yeah, there'll be somebody working late trying to get stuff put on, and occasionally something over the weekend, but for the most part, most of the stuff is on before 5. Patterns, remember? Patterns. And I've noticed that YouTube has changed their design. Taking away my agency, not allowing me as a creator or a customer of YouTube to go into a design format channel page and pick and choose how I want to view YouTube, what I want to have recommended to me, etc., etc. Because without fail, every time when I'm forced to go to my videos that I've just uploaded so that I watch them and trigger the algorithm to get other people to know I have a video out, because YouTube purposely shuts me down and silences me. I have noticed, though, that on the videos, they now have real-time counting. And so 1 minute passes, 2 minute passes, and you can see the time change in the video as you're watching it. That's the only approval I have for YouTube that are taking away my agency. And you can even see real-time views along with the time. But the other features that they've changed, dear God, it's almost as bad as Google changing their design format. And I had just finally decided I'm going to put a picture of my choosing on the Google homepage. And then they go and they screw it up. But yeah, we have too many people in this world who think that they know better than us and that we need to just do what they tell us to do. How they want us to believe, how they want us to act, how they want us to shop and purchase certain products. And so one of the products, I'll have to cross these off as I go through them, is dried yellow onions. You can dry a whole bunch of stuff if you get a dehydrator. Dehydrated dry. I'm really wanting to get one because banana chips are awesome. But nonetheless, there are these dried yellow onions that are being sold in Utah grocery stores. And apparently only 17 people know about them and bought them. Because all 17 customers all got salmonella poisoning. The salmonella letter brought up again since Mark Hoffman. Oh my god. But I have noticed, as I was trying to find Mackenzie's video, I saw that Tim Ballard had been speaking in Congress right before it all hit the fan. He was condemning the Biden administration for not doing enough to protect children at the borders who were being put into slavery. And then all of a sudden, boom, M. Russell Ballard gets a senior moment, denies knowing him, and he's been excommunicated, and he's no longer part of that business anymore, and as the church has utterly ruined and destroyed him. And so now, to seal the deal, sex scandals ordered by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because women in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are told that abstinence only, you cannot have sexual feelings because that's sacred and only reserved after you pay the church money to be worthy to go to the temple, to be married to one man for all eternity. And then it's only for babies. No contraception in the marriage. The church used to do that. No other forms other than intercourse, because that's the church's word, to produce babies. And if you're unfamiliar because you're younger and you're therefore new, because the older generation knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's sad that younger Mormons have no clue what I'm talking about, are in denial that the church was even like that and is therefore still like that today. They do not understand about the good old boys of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Old school fascism. Because this younger generation are able to easily be deceived and want fascism. And think that the Constitution demands that we practice fascism. That's what happens when you have psychologists enter into the school systems and demand that the teachers do a pass-fail grade rather than a grading system. You get all of these privileged little brats who graduate because they passed, and passed meant they showed up for class. They participated. And they weren't tested because they got too stressed. And now they're in the job market. They're running our country into the ground. And so that's sad that these new people cannot figure this out. So, well, I really wanted to learn more about this Mackenzie lady. She's gone. Gone forever thanks to YouTube. I should have clicked on it so that I would have a whole flooded video feed recommended of Mackenzie's videos. But nope, didn't do it. So, also for local news, the group that was responsible for getting the medical marijuana on the Utah ballot, and which was majority passed, for which the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was pissed because they spent money hiring an advertising firm to do research studies to show that medical marijuana is not medical, it's harmful to children. And so the church, in retaliation of Utahns wanting their sick family members to receive medical marijuana to help them. Church said, Congress, you owe us a favor, though, because you're compromised to us by paying tithing. Let's put a pause on this medical marijuana because we're concerned about the safety of children. And so, yeah, they decided, well, these gummy medical marijuana stuff, no, that tricks children. Children don't go into a medical marijuana shop and say, gummies, please. It was already in the law that you have to have a medical doctor's prescription. They're not going to give it to kids. The parent goes in. If anything, the church purposely tampered with it to cause problems. And so the church obviously blames this group for getting it on the ballot and it becoming law. And now you have medical marijuana shops all over the valley. Well, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints doesn't like losing. They're sore losers. They get revenge. So this group is no longer in existence. They're gone from the face of the earth. And the local press did not make the connection. Just like with Tim Ballard. You see, everybody's now focused on Tim Ballard being a sexual deviant. Took away the rights of that Mormon couple who got a couples massage. Had to take off their magic underwear, so now they feel guilty. Oh no, we were naked and we had a massage. We've got to go talk to our bishop now. And those women, oh, we consented to go into a strip club and we consented to give Tim a lap dance. And that's a sin. We have violated the law of chastity in the temple. And therefore, we have to go confess to our bishops. So yes, the church compromises Mormons sexually and thus used them as weapons against Tim Ballard. How dare you expose M. Russell Ballard as not being competent to be the acting president of the Quorum of the 12, indicating that the church is soon to have bombshell breaking news that the local press can't cover up and hide for the church of the deaths of multiple prophets in a row here. But anyway, c'est la vie, mon chéri. Très jolie en fille. Pardonnez-moi, tu crées pas bon? Est-ce que vous allez? Anybody who knows French knows I'm just saying stuff. So, pay attention to ABC News, the titles of the videos. I'm going to give you two. See if you can recognize contradictions. Palestinian journalist talks about her family trapped in Gaza. Okay? Remember, local news about the church always leaves out the church. It purposely blows up the false accusations to protect and defend the church. Okay? Now we're talking about Hamas attacking Israel. Okay? Palestinian journalist talks about her family being trapped in Gaza. So it's an Israeli family being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza, Palestine. I see the bias all over that. In the second video, woman pleads for help after brother, entire family kidnapped by Hamas. Do you see the difference? Do you see where ABC News' bias lies? Palestinian journalist talks about her family being trapped in Gaza. And then woman, not Israeli woman, pleads for help after Israeli brother, entire Israeli family kidnapped by Hamas, Palestinian Hamas. Freedom of the press is vital. But if the press use bias, they are misinforming us. They are not acting as the press. They're acting as tabloid journalists or onion news. Yellow onion news, where if you watch it, you get salmonella poisoning from the salmonella that speaks to you. It tells you about Egyptian gold plates that are slippery. See, the ABC News is showing that they're supporting Palestine. And this is what I'm noticing, an abomination with the press. They are coming out and saying social media is misinforming the public about the Israeli-Hamas war. And then go to misinform us that Palestine is not the same as Hamas. That Palestine is innocent and Hamas is what Israel needs to focus on. They only must go after Hamas. They cannot go after Palestine. I just shake my head about the abomination of our collapsing government and collapsing press, because when the press fails the people, the government is falling as well. So thus, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints controls the press here in Utah. As we are fascist in Utah, we have fallen. We do not follow the Constitution. And so, I have seen other news articles. The Palestinian leader comes out and demands a ceasefire. He's not talking about Hamas. He's talking about Israel. Israel needs to stop. The Palestinian leader, the Prime Minister of Palestine, calling for Israel to stop. Obviously, because he is a terrorist. He supports Hamas. Hamas is Palestinian. That's what the news is not getting across to you. The water is shut off. The electrical is shut off. They're running out of fuel. These aid groups are wanting to get into Gaza to help Palestinians, not Israel, not Israelis. They're not going in demanding that the hostages be freed so that they can give them aid, first aid. Nope. Palestinians who are being attacked by Israel. And because of this misinformation by our press, we are supporting the pro-Palestinian protests in America that are turning violent. And despite that, you have people who are defending themselves against the enemy who are pro-Palestinian, and they're now being called Islamophobic because Palestine and Hamas are Islamic. Islam is made up of Palestinians and Hamas. They are one and the same. And the whole Islamic world of 1.8 billion plus members want the extermination of Israel. All of Israel is at war with Islam. And so you see this tactic now of Islam claiming to be victims of Israel when it was Hamas who caused the problem. Now do you see the bigger picture and how it applies to Tim Ballard? It's just disgusting. And to have our own president betray Israel, ceasefire, hold off, let's try to come up with peace. Catholic boy needs to step aside. It's the law of Moses that the Jews are going by. But to betray Israel after stoking the fighting, the protests worldwide, he is the wrong man for the job. And so the UN president, likewise, got busted because he's been in the news. Israel must stop their human atrocities. They must stop the fighting. These are war crimes, Israel. And so now he's been called out. So do you support Hamas? Obviously. And now he's going, I never said that. That's not what I meant. It is exactly what you meant. Israel does not have the support from the UN. Hamas does. The UN is only going in to help the Palestinians. They are not going in to free the hostages. They are not going in to give aid and first aid to the Israelis from that major attack by Hamas. The Israelis are being victim blamed. And they're pushing it. And the press is helping to push it so that we forget that Hamas drew first blood, that Hamas bombed Israel, that thousands of Israelis are dead, which is why Israel is defending themselves by taking the fight to the Palestinians who are hiding their fellow Islamists, Hamas. They're all terrorists. And so Islam claiming to be peaceful and victims is a blatant lie. There is no such thing as Islamophobia. Because Islam, by their creation, by Muhammad, is anti-Semitic. And have been a problem with Israel and the Jews all these millennia. Well, one millennia and a couple centuries. Several centuries. And so, yeah, Israel is now having to fight not just Hamas, but Palestine, now Lebanon, and Syria has now also joined in the fight against Israel. All because of Hamas. And if you're saying, well, Israel bombed the hospital. Really? So you don't believe that Biden and the Israelis knew very well, and they presented the documents, and the pictures, and videos, that it was a Palestinian Islamic jihadist group that bombed their own people. They're purposely causing the suffering of the Palestinians so that the world of Islam blames the Israelis. And it's working. Because Lebanon then joined against Israel, and now Syria has joined against Israel. And we're waiting to see if Iran will likewise join beyond just the support that they are giving with the weapons and aid. I told you this was going to escalate, and it has. And yet you have the press who are blaming the wrong person, who are blaming social media sites for misinforming the public, when they themselves are misinforming the public as the press. It's just compounding the problem. Because Islamists who watch the news, it's what they want to believe according to their bias. And so they watch the article of the Palestinian journalist and go, yeah, those Israelis, we need to exterminate them. And it riles them up wherever they're living around the world. And they join in the protests. And they get violent. And then other people are scared. They're violent in our country. You don't understand the Quran. It was specifically written as Muhammad himself founded his religion upon taking over the Jews. I'm the man like Moses. I went to the top of the mountain and received the Quran. And then what did he do to convert? Did he send out missionaries to preach? Nope. His men went out with the sword and murdered and destroyed everyone in their path if they didn't convert. That is the origin of Islam. Enforcing religion by the sword. And that should sound familiar to Mormons. So, we now have a Speaker of the House, and he's a election denier. 14th Amendment. Let's bring up the text, because nobody's going to believe me. And they're still not going to believe me unless you see it yourself. And then it's fake news. God. Alright. Let's see if we can get the full thing here by congress.gov. As it's buffering. As it's buffering. As it's buffering. As we got white screen buffering. Okay. Congress. This was a waste of my time. Need to... Yeah, here we go. Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state. Is there any confusion about who this involves? To support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. And yet they're still in office. And what have they been doing? Still in office. They've been holding us hostage. They're cooing the government. They haven't stopped. They're just doing it in different ways than what they did on January 6th and are now denying that it ever happened. And now the new Speaker of the House, as the other two were also deniers, which have also been removed. But this guy is a sweet talker. He doesn't have controversies in his past. Yeah. He cannot be Speaker. The 14th Amendment, Section 2, says no, he cannot be Speaker. He can't even be a House of Representative. Nobody. They all gotta go. And yet, the deep state Dems and the progressive Islamists gave aid and comfort to the MAGA insurrectionists. They all gotta go. Nobody is innocent in our government. They are all committing treason. And thus, we finally got a speaker. Oh, I'm sure the government will be able to fund the government for the next year and not go through a crisis of, oh no, America's being held hostage. They're threatening to crash the government and shut it down. Sure, that won't happen. I'm sure we'll give aid to Israel now. Just like we're giving to Ukraine. Who? Oh, they're still in a war? Oh my God. And so, yeah. To finish up with some happy time news, Amazon has now opened up a Bountiful delivery center. I found out this morning.